Hello, everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about NFTs. What are NFTs? How do you create it? And how do you deploy it and own one? So by the end of this video, you're going to own your own NFT. All right. So what are NFTs? Why NFTs have exploded in the past? The main reason is the gaming and the metaverse platform. So metaverse is now gaining momentum, and there are a lot of gaming platforms like Roblox and others, and that is where these images, these personas, these styles are taking a lot of value. So what are these tokens? Why are they called NFTs? Now, with NFTs being exploded, OpenSea being one of the largest marketplace of NFTs, you see that there are like NFTs, Board APH Club, Wahala, and look at the price. It's too much, right? I mean, 65 Ether. And there are so many NFT clubs. There are so many things that are going around NFTs. So do you want to create your collection of NFTs? Let's look at it. So let's quickly understand what are NFTs in a very layman words. So if you see euro bills or any currency bills or coins, they are plenty. And if you replace one coin or bill with other, it does not matter, right? Because each of these bills hold the value. So here it is euros, all dollars, they hold their own value, and one bill can be easily replaced by another dollar of the same denomination, right? So another example is like a T-shirt. Your shirts, your T-shirts that are manufactured in bulk. So if you take one versus other, it does not matter, right? Now, what if that T-shirt is signed by your favorite soccer player like Messi? So if Messi or somebody who you liked has signed it, your personality has signed it, that becomes a unique T-shirt, your shirt. That shirt does not hold the same value as the shirts which are developed in bulk. That means, like, for example, piece of art, Mona Lisa, right? The painting. So that itself is unique. It cannot be replicated. There has been a lot of paintings slash printout which copies or replicas of Mona Lisa. But Mona Lisa itself, the painting itself is unique. And that is what the difference between fungible and non-fungible token. So fungible token meaning there are plenty. Obviously, there is X limited number amount of bills printed, euros printed, or even the t-shirts manufactured. But one versus other, it does not matter. They are interchangeable. That is why it's known as fungible tokens. While specific things, piece of art, piece of collection, coins which are dated, signed bills, all of these are non-fungible tokens which are unique. And why would you create NFTs? NFTs are basically smart contract. Smart contracts we have discussed in a lot of videos on this channel. That has a property of being unique, and we discussed USD versus Euro. So this was basics, right? Anything which is unique is non-fungible, and anything which is non-unique is fungible. Now, let's go one level deeper. How to create an NFT? Now, on the right-hand side, this picture, which is the thumbnail of this video as well, I'm going to create NFT of this picture in this video and then deploy it using a smart contract on remix.ethereum.org on the Ethereum testnet, or you can deploy it on mainnet, right? This is what we are going to do. When you are looking at decentralized platform, one of the most important things is IPFS, which is interplanetary file system. This means it's a distributed file system that is available. The URL is ipfs.tech. we are going to use this. We are going to upload this image on the IPFS, and we are going to get a URL something like this, ipfs.io IPFS, and a hash known as IPFS hash. The reason we wanted to use IPFS is because we can actually deploy or push this image directly on the Ethereum network, but it's going to be really costly. Ethereum network, when it starts storing pictures, multimedia files, it will become huge and it will lose its speed. And therefore, what they have been doing is putting those images on a distributed file system like IPFS or Filecoin, and then using that URL, they create a metadata. So for this particular file, we create a metadata like this: name, NFT thumbnail, description, learn how to create NFTs from this video, image of this particular file, attributes, a trait type, you can develop your or design your own attributes. So what we do really is, instead of pushing the image, we push the metadata of the image to the Ethereum network. That makes it unique because this IPFS hash is unique. And then we deploy this as a contract saying that this is the image and this is the contract on Solidity platform. That is how you create NFT. Let's break it down a little bit further. Let's look at IPFS and how do I push image to the IPFS. So I'm going to list down the image and we are going to execute steps, and we are going to execute the same steps in the video. So IPFS, Interplanetary File System. As discussed, it's a P2P protocol for storing and sharing data on a distributed file system. Next is, we are going to use something known as Pinata Cloud. Pinata Cloud. As the name suggests, it's a pinning service that allows us to push files to IPFS network. So in order to push your JSON files, the metadata file which we looked at, or the file itself, the image itself, we will use Pinata Cloud. So let's look at it. How do you create NFT? Upload the image to the IPFS cloud. How? First, create an account on pinata.cloud. So this is your Pinata. When you come here, just create an account and you should be seeing this thing. I'm gonna expand it a little bit. There you go. So this is your Pinata cloud. Next, upload the image on the Pinata cloud. So let's upload the image. So you can upload here, say file. I'm not gonna do that right now. We'll do that step by step. Next, get the IPFS hash for the image from the pinata.cloud. Let's complete this, right? So next is the JSON file, but for now, let's complete this. So I have this image on my local system, and I am going to upload this on the Pinata cloud. So upload file, select file, and I'm going to have this nft.png. I can give a file name. I'll say nft.png. I'm going to keep it like that and say upload. And you look at it, it'll take a couple of seconds, and then this file is going to be available in here. Look at that, nft.ping 1.78 MB, and this is your IPFS hash. You can copy this like this, and next we'll upload the metadata JSON file. So create a metadata JSON file with the image, upload the JSON file onto the Pinata cloud, and get the IPFS hash for the JSON from the Pinata cloud. So on my laptop or on my computer, I've already created a file, and then I'm going to use this. Perfect. So let me show it to you right now. This is my JSON file. let me upload it. So I'm going to upload the file here. Select file. This is my NFT metadata JSON, and I say upload. So this JSON file, we'll look at it, how the file looks like, and you will see in a moment that this file is available here. So this is metadata JSON. So what we are going to do is we're going to go to IPFS. First, let's copy this as well, and we go to IPFS, and then we are going to have this. It's going to take some time because it's a distributed file system. Sometimes it takes time, and we are going to look at the image as well in this other URL. So this is the new URL. We copy the image IPFS hash, and we will push it here. So let's see. Yeah, look at this. This image is now available on IPFS.io IPFS and this particular URL. And it is still looking for the metadata. Let the metadata come up. You would see how the metadata looks like. So it will take some time, and then let's look at the steps in the meanwhile. So in the metadata, you would see that IPFS hash for the image file, we have put it in the JSON file. I'll show you in a few minutes. And then we'll create a smart contract for minting this NFT on Solidity. Now, for the IPFS URL, we are going to use HTTP IPFS and the hash file for the metadata JSON file. So let's look at it, right? It says bad gateway. Let's try it one more time. And I'm going to pause the video by the time it takes them some time to come back up. It took some time and it came up. So you have NFT thumbnail as the name, description, and this IPFS, look at the last word, WOBWSA, WOBWSA. So this is the IPFS URL in the metadata of the JSON file. So I'm going to expand this a little bit. So NFT thumbnail, learn how to create NFTs. This is the metadata URL of the image, the trait type, and these attributes you can develop your own, right? So using this JSON, we'll push this metadata onto the Ethereum net, testnet, and then we are going to create the NFT, right? So we have done this, let's create the smart contract. So I'll go back to the Ethereum IDE, which we have been using for long. Look at my other Solidity video. And I'm going to clear this, and then I'm going to create a new file. File here, I'm going to create the NFT contracts. Basics. This is basics, and we'll do a little bit of advanced one probably in a different video. So NFT contracts basics. Now let's start writing some code. All right, let's write some code. So the first one is we are going to do Pragma Solidity 0.8.8. Now, if you don't know what the Solidity is and what is remix.ethereum.org, please look at my previous videos. We have discussed in detail what Solidity is and how do we create smart contracts. Now, so import Open Zeppelin. So you're going to write this, and you can look at this code in my GitHub as well. So Open Zeppelin contracts token ERC. So in one of the previous video, I have explained that we're using import. You can import the other Solidity contracts and use them as the base. For NFT creations, ERC 721 is used. The contract ERC 721 is used. There is another video out there in my channel. On my channel, it tells you the difference between ERC 721 and ERC 20 and other protocols, all right? I mean, other contracts. So And then I'm going to use counters because we want to count how many NF tokens or NFTs we are generating. Next, I'm going to give it a name. Blockchain Beyond Basics is ERC21 URI storage because I'm inheriting it, right? I'm inheriting the contracts. In Solidity, we have discussed inheritance already. Next, using counters for counters.counter. That means this particular Solidity smart contract has counters, and we are going to use these counters to count the number of tokens. Next, we are going to initiate underscore token IDs as counters. It's a private. Now, I'm going to define the token URI. This is the token URI for the metadata file. Remember this file. All right, so this is the token URI. Next, constructor ERC721. So I'm creating a blockchain beyond basic smart contract NFT token, and the ID of this token would be BBB. So it's a blockchain beyond basics, BBB. So function, I'm creating a function, BBB mint NFT. So this function, when you click it on Remix, it'll mint a token. Sorry, NFT. So token IDs.increment. So this token ID has a property called function increment. That means it'll start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Token ID 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Next is I'm assigning this to a next token ID, and I'm going to say current. So find out what is my current token ID. Next, I'm using a safe mint function, and this function is going to do a message dot sender. So whoever is running this contract, BBB mint NFT, mint a token for NFT and assign it to the sender. That means the person who is minting the token. And then set token URI. This is required for the minter, the person who mints the token, to be able to see the token in his or her wallet. You will see that token in the wallet as well, MetaMask wallet. Return, it returns, this function returns uint 256. It's going to return the token ID. And then close the braces. So this is the function. This is for the function close, and this is for the contract close. So what I did is very, very simple. I have utilized ERC721 contracts, storage contract, and then here I'm utilizing the counters contract as well. This token URI is for the token of the metadata file. And then this is the constructor, blockchain beyond basics. And all of these are just doing a mint. This is the function for minting. And this is setting up the token for that particular person, the sender. All right. So safe mint and set token URI are the two important functions, just calls and mints the NFT. Let's do it, right? Once you see it, you will get a hang of it. Next is let's compile it. So I'm compiling it. The compilation is successful, and then I'm going to deploy it. Now for the sake of testing purposes, for now, I'm going to deploy it on Remix VM. And once it is good, then I'm going to deploy it on the Goerli testnet, right? So for now, Remix, I'm going to deploy it, blockchain beyond basics. The contract is deployed. Now, I'm going to click on this BBB mint NFT. It is going to deploy or mint this NFT. As soon as I do it, at the bottom here, you see that it is pending and it is done. So if you look at it, this contract has been deployed. The reason I'm doing it on this remix is because it's going to be faster and we will understand a few more things faster, right? So we have deployed from, and this is the contract address. And if you look at it, this has been deployed. Now, if I go here and say token URI, so this is the token URI. And then if I say, what is my token URI for one, it's going to give you this IPFS address. Now, if I want to find out the name of the token blockchain beyond basics, make sense? Now, let's mint it again. So I got my second token minted, I mean the NFT minted, and I can mint as many as NFTs as I want. So if you have two, you see here, I have minted the second token. Three will give an error, right? Because it does not have the third one. So I minted two. In this way, I can mint hundreds and thousands of tokens. There is no limit. But remember, NFTs, the basic principle is they are unique. They are very few in numbers. So I'm going to change the smart contract now, and I'm going to add U in public constant, total mintable. That means I'm putting a cap to it, putting a ceiling to it, saying that I don't want to mint any more tokens than one. I just put one for now in order to test it, but I can put hundreds, thousands to a number that I want to print. Mint. And then on this particular line, I have added one more. So I'm going to say that next token ID should be equal to or less than the total mint table. So when you deploy the contract for the first time, the first one will pass. The second one is going to error out and say max mint table limit reached, because I don't want to mint many tokens, right? Unlimited number of tokens. Let's do it. I'm going to delete the contract. Let's redeploy it and see if it works, right? So compilation success. I'm going to deploy that again on Remix VM. And then, and we are going to see that, like, once it is done, we are going to see all the files one more time once we deploy it on Goerli testnet. So for now, the first one, it gets minted here. The second one, it gives you error. It says max mint table limit reached. And this is one of the methods you can control the number of tokens or number of NFTs that can be minted. So if I do it again, it'll say the same thing. Max mint table limit reached. That means you have a limit to the NFTs. So this was the basics. Now let's put it on Goerli. So I'm gonna say 100. Let me make it 100 so that it doesn't give us an error in the more than once, right? So let's do it. I'm gonna compile it one more time and then go back. And instead of now deploying it on Remix, I'm gonna use the injector provider MetaMask. Now I have a MetaMask account and I have account number 13816. All right. So this is the account that I'm going to use to deploy this contract on Goerli testnet. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to say deploy. As soon as I say deploy, you see here that it asks you the gas fees and everything else. You confirm, and you see that it says creation of blockchain beyond basic spanning, view on Ether can. So if I click on this link, it opens up Goerli testnet, and I'm gonna expand this a little bit. So it's taking a few seconds, but once done, you'll be able to have some fun, right? It's gonna take around 35-40 seconds to deploy, depending on the number of nodes and transactions available when you are doing this, right? So we're gonna wait for a few more seconds and it's done. Okay, so this is the transaction hash and this is the contract. So this is the contract that was created and this is the gas limit used. And so it's the data here and stuff like that. So now we have deployed the contract here, but we haven't minted any tokens yet, right? I mean, any NFTs yet. So let me mint it. So it says green, it's all done. Now let me mint NFT. So BBB mint NFT function, I'm going to click on it, and you see it asks me to pay gas again. So every transaction that you want to run or mint, it's going to give you an option to select and confirm gas. It says view on Etherscan, and this is the NFT creation. Now let's look at it, right? So it's going to use the same contract 111E 111E. This is the contract that we created. Once this transaction is completed, you would see token ID. And by the time it's running, I'm going to show you quickly here that this is the token ID that it's going to show. Next token ID, which is nothing but token IDs from the counter, right? And it'll be like one up number 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's look at it. It's going to take some time to mint, and this is your first minted NFT. Congratulations, right? You have minted by looking at least on the video, and you can do it by yourself as well. You have minted the first token NFT here, and this is the token ID 1. This is blockchain beyond basic. Now let's look at it. Where do I see it? How do I see my NFT? Right? So there used to be a testnet.opensea.io, testnet.opensea.io, but this used to work only with Ringbee. It's not right. I don't remember what the URL was, but there was OpenSea testnet, OpenSea, and this used to only work for testnets. Okay, so this used to only work for Ringbee, and after the POS move in September 2022, the testnet for Ringbee does not exist anymore. So for Goerli, we are going to be using another viewer to look at our NFT, which is going to be, let me use this link, nftviewer.xyz. So nftviewer.xyz, we are going to use this. Go to smart contract over here, select Goerli. This is the testnet that we deployed on. I go back in here and copy the contract. This is the contract that we deployed, ending in 1EEE, and the token ID is 1. This is our first NFT. So I'm going to put token ID 1 and say search. As soon as you say search, look at this. This is your NFT, the first NFT that you have built from scratch. In the next video, we are going to automate this process. Rather than having one token, we will have a very generic smart contract that will take an input as token ID. And then the Pinata cloud that we used for manually uploading NFTs, we are going to do it programmatically using Python. So this is the basics. Let's look for advanced. Again, thank you for watching.